Hello everybody, welcome to my English learning YouTube channel Minu Chandra. In this video, we are going to know all about verbs. I hope this video will be useful for our upper primary and high school students. Let me start. First of all, we will know what is called a verb. A word that expresses an action, occurrence, or state of being is called a verb. So generally we can say verbs are action words. So the verb that which shows the action is called action verb. Let us know what do you mean by action verb. The word that describes physical action or mental actions are called action verbs. Let us know this with the help of the example. The student runs quickly. In this sentence, the student is the noun phrase acting as the subject and runs is the verb. Quickly is the adverb. Here, the word runs describes the physical action or the mental action that the students do here. Playing is not only a physical action, it is also a mental action. Similarly, let us go to the another example. We learn English every day. Here we the subject, whereas learn is the action verb, while learning is a mental action. So the word learn expresses the mental action. Therefore, here the learn is the action verb. Similarly, verb sometimes expresses events or changes that happen. So the word which expresses events or the changes that happen or the occurrence is called occurrence verb or also a verb. Let us know this with the help of the example. The sun rises over the horizon. Here, this sun, which is the noun phrase, is the subject. Rises is the V1 form of the verb, whereas over the horizon is the adverb clause. Let us go through the word rise. Here, rise indicates the events or the changes in action. Therefore, here rise is a verb word because it expresses events or changes that happen. Similarly, the weather changed suddenly. Here the weather is subject, whereas changed is the V2 form of the verb and suddenly is the adverb. So here the word changed indicate or express the changes that happen in the weather. Therefore, here changed is a verb word because it expresses the changes. Similarly, the meeting happened at 2 p.m. This indicates the occurrence. So happened means it expresses one of the events. Therefore, the word happened is a verb here. Similarly, the verb also describes an existence or condition. The verb which describes an existence or condition, those types of verbs are called state of being verbs. And these verbs link the subject to the descriptor. For example, teacher is happy. A teacher is the subject. Is the auxiliary verb, whereas happy is the adjective. If you say teacher is happy, the word happy describes the teacher, the subject, with the help of a verb. That means here each is linking both the subject and the adjective here. So such type of verbs are called linking verbs. Always remember, we cannot find the object soon after any linking verb. So the linking verb is followed by either an adverb or an adverb clause, adjective or an adjective clause. Sometimes also a noun. For example, I can say, I am a teacher. Here, I is the subject, am is the linking verb, whereas teacher is the complement. It is not an object because here I and the teacher are not two, they are the same. So, the word teacher indicates the subject with the help of the linking verb am. So here the word am establishes links between the subject and the complement. Always remember the word or the phrase that which comes after the linking verb will be a complement, not an object. We will learn it in detail later on. We can broadly classify the verbs into two parts. They are finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Let us discuss what are called finite verbs and what are the types of finite verb. The verb that change according to the tense, person, number and the subject is called finite verb. And these finite verbs are further classified into two parts. They are main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Main verbs has 5 classifications. They are transitive verb, intransitive verb, linking verb, similarly static verbs and dynamic verbs. We will know in detail about all these. And the second type of verbs are called auxiliary verbs. Let us discuss about the main verbs. I have already told you that all kinds of transitive, intransitive, linking verbs, static verbs and dynamic verbs are main verbs. But unless and until we have the idea over the finite verbs, we cannot go further into the main verb or the auxiliary verbs. So let me discuss on the finite verbs. I have already told you that the verb which changes according to the person, according to the subject, according to the number, according to the tenses are called finite verbs. Let us go through these examples. Go and goes. Here, if the subject is first person singular number or first person plural number we or second person singular or plural number you or third person they, then we use V1 form of the verb. But if the subject is he or she or it means third person singular number, then we have to use s or es with the first form of the verb. So from this, it is proof that the verb changes according to the subject, singular or plural. Therefore, this is a finite verb. Similarly, go is the present form of the verb. But if it is in the past tense, then go changes into went. If it is a future tense, then it will be will go. That means the word go changes according to the tenses. If the subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. If the subject is singular, then the verb will be singular. Always remember, when you use s or es with the noun, then it will be plural. But if you use s or es with the verb, then it will be treated as singular. Here, he runs indicate the singular. If the verb changes according to the subject, then it will be finite verb. For example, she sings, whereas it will be we sing. So she sings, it indicates the subject is singular and third person, therefore we add s or es. We sing, we is the plural, therefore we use V1 form of the verb. So from this clear that the finite verb changes according to the tense, according to the person, according to the number, and according to the subject. Let us have a wider discussion on transitive and intransitive verb. Our students most of the time faces difficulties in recognizing the transitive and intransitive verbs. What are called transitive verbs? Always remember, the transitive verbs always requires a direct object. That means, if there is a direct object soon after the verb, then that verb will be called as transitive verb. Then how can you know that the verb, the noun word or the noun phrase that comes after the verb is a direct object? Then there are two things. You can ask two questions. Who or what? If you ask who or what, the answer to that question will be a noun or noun phrase. And if any noun phrase that follows a verb, then that verb will be treated as transitive verb. For example, he wrote a book. Here he is the subject, wrote is the V2 form of the verb. Whereas a book is a direct object. Then how can you say that a book is a direct object? Just ask, what did he write? The answer to this question is, he wrote a book. So a book is a noun phrase. And it answered the question, what? Therefore, it is a direct object. Since the verb word wrote has a direct object, here wrote is a transitive verb. Similarly, she painted a masterpiece. What did he paint? A masterpiece. Therefore, a masterpiece is a direct object used soon after the verb painted. So here painted is a transitive verb. Similarly, they ate their pizza. So what did they eat? They ate their pizza. So pizza is a noun phrase and also a direct object. Similarly, the chef prepared dinner. What did the chef prepare? Dinner. So dinner is a food item which is a direct object. Similarly, we finished the task. The task is a direct object, the noun phrase, and also a direct object came after the word finished. Therefore, finished is a transitive verb. Then the question rises in our mind, what is called a direct object and what is called an indirect object? Indirect objects is related with persons, whereas direct object is related with the thing. So when you are asked the question who, the answer will be a person. Therefore, it will be indirect object. Here he is the subject form of the pronoun, whereas he means the objective case. Similarly, I, me, here me can be an indirect object. So in the you, they, them. So them is the indirect object. Here direct object related with the things. Now let us know what are called intransitive verb. Whenever the verb doesn't require any object, that verb generally is called intransitive verb. That means if there is no noun phrase soon after the verb, then that verb will be treated as intransitive verb. For example, the sun shines brightly. Here the sun is a noun phrase acting as a subject, whereas shines is the V1 form of the verb. And brightly is the adverb here because it gives the answer to the question is how. How does the sun shine? It shines brightly. So it's an adverb. I've already told you, if any adverb or adjective or adverb clause or adverb phrase or adjective phrase comes soon after the verb, then the adverb or the adjective will be treated as complement, not the object. And that verb will be an intransitive verb. Then how can you know that a particular thing is an adverb? Just ask these questions: how, why, when, and where. The answer to all these four questions will be the adverb. Then if you ask a question what kind of regarding the quality, then those will be generally the adjective. Here brightly, the sun shines brightly. How does the sun shine? Brightly. So it's an adverb. Therefore, the word shine is an intransitive verb because there is no object soon after the verb. So if there is an direct object soon after the verb, then it will be the verb will be treated as transitive verb. And if there is no direct object soon after the verb, then that verb will be an intransitive verb. So intransitive verb is always followed by complement. So here brightly the complement. Similarly, the baby slept soundly. Soundly is an adverb. It's in a complement. Similarly, the bird flies high. So high is an adverb or sometimes it's an adjective. So it's also a complement because it's not a noun phrase or not a direct object. So in spring, suppose the flowers bloom in spring. The question is, when do the flowers bloom? When do the flowers bloom? In spring. So it responded to the question when. When. Therefore, it's an adverb phrase. So adverb phrase is here. Therefore, the word bloom is an intransitive verb. Similarly, he grew quickly. Then how did he grow? Quickly. So here quickly is an adverb. Therefore, from this we are clear that if any complement comes soon after the verb, complement in term adjective or adverb, adjective clause or adverb clause, then those verb will be treated as intransitive verb. And if any direct object comes soon after the verb, then that verb will be treated as transitive verb. So transitive flows to a direct object, whereas intransitive makes sense without an object. Let's know the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also the finite verbs. There are three types of auxiliary verbs. First one is primary auxiliary. Second one is modal auxiliary. And third one is semi-modals or quasi-auxiliaries. But generally in many books we find these are classified into two main parts. There are primary auxiliary and modal auxiliaries. But if we can subclassify, then we will find the semi-modals or the quasi-auxiliaries. Let us know what are the primary auxiliary verbs. We can divide the primary auxiliary verbs in three parts. They are be form, have form and do form. Then what are the be form? Be itself is be. Similarly, is, am, are used in present tense. Was and were used in past tense. Similarly, been also be form. Being also the be form of the verb. So these are the family, be family. Similarly, let us discuss about the have family. There are three words for the have family. Has, have and had. Has, have and had. Similarly, do verbs. What are the do verbs? And do verbs are also three forms. The do, does and past tense of the words do and does is did. So do, does, did are the do verbs or do form verbs. In this way, there are three types of primary auxiliary verbs. We will go in detail later on. Now let us discuss the modal auxiliaries. You know it very well. Can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, need, dare. These are the modal auxiliaries. Similarly, what are the semi-modal auxiliaries? Used to, have to, be able to, be going to, had better to. These are the semi-modals, or we can call it as a quasi-modal. Let us discuss the other finite verbs. They are linking verbs, stative verbs and dynamic verb. Then the question arises, what are called linking verbs? The meaning is very clear. The verb words that which creates or establishes link between the subject and complement or the linking verbs. Let us discuss with the help of example. If you say he is intelligent, here he is the subject where each is the be form of the verb and intelligent is an adjective. Now if you observe this sentence, you find the word intelligent, which is an adjective, came soon after the be form of the verb is. Therefore, this is an complement. We have already discussed it. What is a complement and what is a direct object. So the word intelligent is a complement. And the word intelligent tells about the quality of the subject he. Therefore, the word is establishes link or creates link between the subject and the complement. So here each is the linking verb. Similarly, the soap tastes delicious. How does the soap taste? Delicious. So delicious is an adjective word. And the word, this adjective word tells about the subject, the soap. How was the soap? Delicious. Therefore, the adjective comes soon after the verb. A tests is the linking verb which establishes link between the soap and the delicious. Similarly, she seems tired. So tired is an adverb word and that comes soon after the verb. I have already told you, when any adjective or adverb comes soon after the verb, those verbs will be called as linking verb if that verb is used alone. Generally, all the be forms of the verb, especially is, am, are, was, were, if they are used alone in any sentence, they will be linking verbs. There are also some test verbs, those who also can be called as linking verb. Similarly, let us discuss what do you mean by static verb. Static verb expresses the state, condition, position, emotion, thought, and senses. All these words are static verbs. For example, I know the answer. Here, know is a static verb. They own a house. Here, own is a static verb because it indicates the position. Know indicates the senses. Similarly, she loves music. She loves love is an affection. So, because these words indicate state, position, emotion, thought, or senses are called static verbs. Let us know all about dynamic verb. What are called dynamic verbs? Dynamic means what? That changes time to time is called dynamic, which is subjected to change is called dynamic, which is subject to change in a good way is called dynamic. So here the dynamic verbs expresses the physical or the mental action, where when any verbs that expresses physical or mental action will be dynamic verb, or we call it action verbs. Generally, action verbs are dynamic verbs. So in this way, we learned about linking verbs, static verbs, dynamic verbs, transitive and intransitive verb, auxiliaries, and three types of auxiliary verbs. You can go through the rest part, the examples here. You will have clearly idea about this. I am giving you 1 or 2 minutes to go through this slide. Or you can pause the video and watch it. Let us go to the modal auxiliaries. Have a detail. Modal auxiliaries we have already discussed. Three kind. There are two kinds of modal auxiliary. They are modal auxiliary and semi-modals. And modal auxiliaries expresses ability, possibility, permission, necessity, obligation, advice, suggestion, etc. For example, we should study hard. Here the word should indicated the advice. I can swim, I can swim. So here can expresses the ability of me. It may rain today. It may, the word may indicates the possibility. You must wear a seat belt. This is an obligation or our responsibility. So the word which expresses ability, possibility, permission, necessity, obligation, advice, and suggestion are called modal auxiliaries. Always remember one thing: these modal auxiliaries cannot be used alone, where the primary auxiliaries can be used alone. The I am a teacher. Here am is the primary auxiliary, so it is used alone. But if you want to use these modal auxiliaries, you need a main verb too. So modal auxiliaries are always act as what? The helping verbs. Whereas primary auxiliaries, sometimes it can be a helping verb, or sometimes it can also be treated as main verb or the link verbs. Let us know about non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs do not change according to the subject, according to the number, according to the tenses, and according to the person. It remains as it is. Therefore, such kind of verb words are called non-finite verbs. There are three kinds of non-finite verb. They are infinitives, gerunds, and particles. Then what do you mean by infinitive? A verb that usually preceded by to are called infinitives and used as noun, adjective, and adverb. Always remember the word which is followed by to, one thing, and those words act as noun, adjective, or adverb are called infinitives. We can know all the things with the help of examples later on. Similarly, the second type of non-finite verbs are gerunds. We have already discussed that the non-finite verbs do not change according to the tense, person, or number. So, what do you mean by gerund? Gerund is nothing but the verbs ending in ing form. So, if you add ing with the V1 form of the verb, then it will be gerund ing form. But there is one condition. Gerund functions as a subject, it means a noun, or an object, it is also noun, or object to a preposition. So from this, it is very clear that the gerunds will act as noun. So the verb what? V1 plus ing means go, going, do, doing. If they act as subject, noun, and act as a subject or the object to preposition, they will be called gerunds. Always remember, gerund means the V1 plus ing form, a present participle form. But this gerund acts as noun only. Similarly, let us discuss participles. Verb forms used as adjective are to form a tense. For example, there are two subsections of participles. They are present participle and past participle. There is also a future participle. Now have a look at, study it well. If it needed, pause the video for some time and watch it and read it well. Let us have the complete knowledge about infinitives. I told you that infinitives are nothing but 2 plus V1. When 2 plus V1, to go, to eat, to write, such kind of forms are called infinitives. But as we have earlier discussed, infinitive should either act as a noun or as adjective or an adverb. Suppose what are the to eat, to write, to sing, to help, to discover, to learn, to dance, to cook, to travel, all these are to infinitives. To read is good. Here to read which is infinitive form, is the subject and is the noun phrase. Similarly, to study takes discipline. Or we say studying, we can't say. To study takes discipline. A to study, which is 2 plus V1, acting as noun. Similarly, the to sleep is essential. So to sleep is not any verb. It's what? It's an infinitive that is acting as noun. Similar to cook is my passion. To give brings joy. So these are acting as noun. So when the 2 plus V1 form sometimes acts as a noun, and it can take the place of either subject or an object. Similarly, there are some infinitives. 2 plus infinitive acts as adjective. I have a book to read. I have a book to read. Here, to read it is acting as an adjective. Give me water to drink. Here, the word to drink is an infinitive acting as adjective. Similarly, they have a goal to achieve. So, to achieve is an adjective word. Whenever the 2 plus V1 word acts as an adjective, they are also called infinitives. Sometimes infinitives acts as adverb. Suppose he came to help. That means why did he came? He came to help. So the answer to the word why is the to help. So to help is an what? 2 plus V1 is a complement, is also an adverb phrase. Similarly, we study to pass. So it indicates to pass indicates the purpose. So why do you study? You study to pass. Similarly, the work hard to save money. Then why should I work hard? To save money. So have to save is the what? Infinitive. So here these infinitives are acting as adverb. And 2 plus V1 acts as a noun or an adjective or an adverb. These will be treated as infinitives. Let us know all about gerund. What do you mean by gerund? It's very easy. Gerunds are nothing but the V4 forms of the verbs are V1 plus ing. But one condition, gerunds are always noun. Always remember. So the nouns can either be placed at the subject place or at the objective place. Let us discuss with the help of example. Swimming is healthy. Here swimming is the V4 form of the verb, but here it is acting as a noun and it is in the subject position. Similarly, reading is my favorite pastime. Here reading is the gerund because it is the V4 form of the verb and acting as the noun and positioned at the subject place. Similarly, garden is therapeutic. So here gardening is a gerund acting as a noun. Similarly, running keeps me fit. Cooking is an art form. Here running and cooking are the ing form of the verb are acting as a noun and placed in the subject position. Sometimes the ing form of the verb placed soon after the verb will be also an object because if it acts as noun or noun phrase. For example, I enjoy singing. Here singing is the object to the verb enjoy, and here singing means V1 plus ing form which is acting as noun. Therefore, singing is a gerund. Similarly, she avoids smoking. Here smoking is the ing form of the verb which is acting as noun. Similarly, I practice speaking English. He finished writing the report. They recommended trying the special. Here speaking, singing, writing or trying, all these are acting as an object. So always remember the gerund is nothing but the V4 form of the verb acting as a noun or a noun phrase. Similarly, sometimes the gerunds also take the place of complement. Just pause the video and study the rest part of the gerund that I have already placed here. Let us know other types of finite verbs. We have already discussed that the participles are nothing but the finite verbs. There are three kinds of finite verbs. They are present, past, and perfect type. Let us discuss the present participle. Present participle is nothing but the V1 plus ing. Please never be confused. If the V1 plus ing what acts as a noun, it should be a gerund. But in the present participle, it acts as an adjective. The shouting man angered us. The shouting man. So what kind of man? Shouting man. Suppose shouting is an adjective. So we saw a burning house. What kind of house did we see? A burning house. So here burning, similar burning, shouting are nothing but the present participle acting as adjectives. So the confusing presentation left us baffled. Similarly, she heard a crying baby from outside. Here baby is noun. Crying. What kind of baby? So crying baby. It gives the answer to the question what kind of. So here crying is an adjective. So from this it is clear that the present participle can be used as an adjective and before the noun words. Similarly, there are another type of past participle. What are they? Now the past participle that describes a completed or passive state. For example, a confused student asked a question. When the V3 form of the verb are used before the noun will be treated as an adjective. So here student is the noun, the word confused is an adjective word. Similarly, he sells used cards for a thing. Here car. What kind of car? Used car. Somebody has used it. So it's an used car. So the word used are nothing but the past participle acting as an adjective. Always remember when the ed form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb are used before any noun, whether it is a subject or an object position, will be past participle. Perfect participles are nothing but having plus V3. So when you say having plus V3 in any sentence, it will be treated as perfect participles. For example, having finished the work, he slept. So having finished means it indicates the action of finishing the work. So he slept. Similarly, having eaten the meal, we paid the bill. Having seen the movie, they left the theater. Having read the book, she understood the plot. Having completed the course, he received a certificate. If you study all the things, you will find having plus V3. When having plus V3 are used in any sentence, those phrase will be considered as perfect participle. Now, in this way, we have covered all kinds of verbs.